This is a eulogy for Marilyn Hines. Thank you all for coming. Our mom, Marilyn, touched so many people with her selfless grace and generosity of spirit. We are grateful you came here today to share her. Mom, Grandma, Marilyn, friend. No one could do it better. Whenever you saw her, she was smiling, helping, and laughing. As seen in these pictures, she was always found around family and kids and friends, and always smiling. She was always quietly creating events of love. Selflessness described her in a single word. She was all about family. She and her brothers were raised in family with their many cousins, aunts, and uncles in the small farming community of Miller, South Dakota. This upbringing instilled her base core of caring and loving for family and friends alike. She brought that philosophy with her when she was raising her own family, living the golden rule and teaching us her important morality. Her moral compass was always true north and unshakable. As her kids, she rallied and cheered our successes, showering love and appreciation for the people we were. She was always there with a patient ear to listen to our distresses and commiserate in our troubles and challenges of life's trials. She was always there, day or night, and as kids, we tested her. She never turned her back or was ever too busy. But she did remind us that nothing ever good happens after midnight. I never knew the depth of her steely strength because she was so nice. She found humor in most situations. I'm so glad of that personally, as are my brothers. How does somebody do that? Have unending patience. How many times did she load 4 kids and 2 dogs and take off on a 2-day drive back to South Dakota by herself? Now that's a brave woman. We even broke down one night on the dark winding road in the Black Hills. We slept in the car, a country squire station wagon, and she dealt with it the next day, of course. Managing 4 kids and 2 dogs on the side of the road in the dark, that's South Dakota strong. Mom was proud of her Scottish heritage, her parents and ancestors, and her mirage of cousins, and of course her 2 brothers. Beginning in their 60s, her cousins and brothers started traveling the world together once a year. I remember when 60 was old. They traveled well into their 80s, going to Scotland, Canada, East Coast sailings, Tahoe, South Dakota, Washington, D.C., and Florida, just to name a few. One by one, their group of 20 began to grow smaller. Now it is smaller still. What many people didn't realize about Mom was her great breadth of accomplishments. She was a cheerleader, writer for the paper, singer, actress, and musician, being accomplished in piano, flute, and percussions. She never lost the love of a marching band. Sometimes we would come home after school to the blaring loud music of John Philip Sousa from the stereo. You could hear it all the way down the block. She would be found marching around the house, vacuuming to the Stars and Stripes Forever. Pretty funny. But she loved it. Brother Mike does it the same to this day. The only thing she failed at was snow skiing. On her first lesson, she broke both bones on her right lower leg just above the ski boot. It was a bad break, and she was cast from hip to toe. This fact regulated her to the main floor of the house. The boys lived downstairs, but when she thumped her crunches on the floor, they knew to come running. She taught me to do laundry, which was also located downstairs. I failed in the dryer department when I shrunk up everyone's wool sweaters. She just shrugged and figured, lesson learned. Not sure if she meant me or her. In high school, she was voted peppiest. Great style, friendliness, full of fun. She was voted the most popular in 8 areas, the most of any girl in her graduating class. She had decided to pursue a nursing career after high school. But she put all that aside to support her husband through college, medical school, flight school, and then the Navy. She was always quiet about her accomplishments, rather focusing her energies on promoting others. She put it all aside to raise 5 kids. Devastation struck when they lost their firstborn, Robert Lee, to a terrible cancer at age 5. But she never faltered. She had 2 little kids at home that needed her. She carried that loss every day for 63 years. We have been able to arrange for Robert Lee to be brought to Carson City, where he will join his mother, our mother, in her burial. It was one of the first things she wanted when she found out she was sick. We have to bring Robert home. Of course. After her family, Mother loved adventure. Whether just a picnic in the mountains or hitting the road, she was always game. Probably the most daring was working underground in a hard rock mine. She told me, as she was sitting on a pile of rocks deep underground, she wondered where those rocks had come from. Then she looked up at the big hole at the ceiling above her. Time to move. Others' adventures included whitewater rafting, scuba diving, flying in private aircraft, operating heavy equipment, and navigating boats in the ocean, lakes, and rivers. After getting her devastating diagnosis, I asked her what she wanted to do. Go somewhere, see friends, find adventure? And without hesitation, she replied, "No, I just want to be with my family." So we made that happen with great family gatherings. Friends, children's, grands, and greats, we were all there for her, and she rejoiced. She should be recognized for her PEO sisterhood. For over 60 years, she believed and worked towards helping women find their strength and their voice. She participated and accepted all positions in the organization over many times. She shared with me how she got started in PEO when her mother asked her and her cousin Barb to join this organization. Mom countered back that it was only because they needed strong young backs to help them hauling and carrying. Her mother thought for a moment and responded, "Oh no, not just that." Her PEO's sisters will be sharing a celebration of their own today. Her independent spirit never dulled. Only recently, in her 80s, it was not unusual for her to jump in the car and drive to Las Vegas or Phoenix by herself. Mother. When I found out, I told her my husband, her favorite son-in-law, would fly down and drive back with her. But before we knew it, she had driven back to Carson, that girl. In ending, I want to share her heartfelt love for her friends and family. She wrote, "Although my wonderful life is coming to a close, I want to tell you all how very much you've enriched it with joy and happiness. You've made my life complete. I think back to all the giggles and laughter we have shared. I cherish each one of those memories that have brightened my everyday. It makes me proud to know our legacy will continue with integrity and honesty for all generations to come. My wish is for you to remember me with love and laughter, and know how grateful I am for all of you." She was not done living this life, but she was done living with the misery of cancer. What are we going to do without her? We will celebrate her and try to emulate her message of kindness and consideration. Thank you.